what you need to do is load that website up in Dreamweaver. I'm going to show you how to do it. If I remember correctly, when I did this on my new computer that has since been taken away because it wasn't working right. So, is this website created on this computer that I'm working on right now? And the answer to that should be absolutely not, right? If I want to go and load this website up, if I want to load this website up, I'm going to go to Site and Manage Sites, and you will see right here on mine, I have Chapter 2 demonstration for A3 class, which theirs has been a little different place than where yours is in right now. I have all these other sites that I've created. Do I have the Chapter 2 demonstration for B2 up there? The answer is no, I do not. Okay. I do have it saved on my computer, but I do have it saved on my network folder, but I don't have it created on this computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a new site right now. And if you can't find yours, you need to do this too. And I'm going to call this Chapter 2 Demonstration. I'm going to put -B2 stuff for the class. Now, I already have this saved in a folder, so I need to go and find that folder and use that for my local site folder. I click right there, and I go to my network folder right here. I have a folder for B2 2016-2017 right there. I have a folder, Chapter 2 Demonstration-B2. I'm going to select that folder. I'm going to click Save. And I'm going to click Done. And this is what you should have right here, okay? This is what your screen should look like, okay? Over here on the right, you should have your site folder, your root folder right there. Then you have a CSS folder right there. And then you have a file called template.html. I'm going to open up that template.html file right now. And this is what it should look like, okay? If yours looks like this, then you are in good shape, okay? If yours does not look like this, you are not in good shape, and you need to get in good shape. What you should do, if you don't have this for some reason, go back up here to my website and add on today's assignment, if I can get it up there. Let me just go do this from my computer back here. Let me refresh my page here. Right here, number 3, where it says Chapter 2 Demonstration Updated Zip File, you can download that, unzip it, and then use that folder for this demonstration that we're getting ready to do. Now, if you all will recall, we added these different sections in here, right? The way we added these sections in, and we gave these sections IDs. The top one's logo, the next one's nav, then banner, content, and footer. All we did to create those is we would go to this little insert menu right here, and all of these layout options that you see are right here. You got header, navigation, main, aside, article, section, and footer. When you clicked on those, all we did was give them an ID. The reason you gave them an ID is so you could apply CSS rules to each one of those. Okay, does everybody understand that? You give each one of those sections an ID so you can apply the CSS rules to those things. Now, if you are following along on that document that I placed on my website, where we're going to start adding CSS rules starts on page 98 on that. And there's a pretty specific way to go about doing this stuff. And this first part right here, you'll need to pay very particular close attention to, or you will not understand how to do the CSS rules. Okay? And those of you that like to work ahead of me, once we get this set up where you apply your first CSS rules, you can go back to that document and start working ahead of it if you'd like. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some text right up here to that logo section. We're going to put some text in there and create a logo out of that text. Type in the words, the gallery, portrait, and family photography. I'll put that back up there in a moment, but I do want to point out to you, if you go back over here where it says Dreamweaver Chapter 2 Demonstration, you scroll down to page 98 on that, which should be, hold on. Hold on one second. I'm going to show you where this is at in this document. No, it's kind of hard, but there it is right here. We're on this page right here. 16 of 41. Thank you for pointing that out to me. This says the gallery, portrait, and family photography. And basically, you're building a template for a photographer's website. Okay. Now, before we move on, make sure that if you fall behind or you don't get something, let me know immediately. Okay. I do not mind stopping to help you if you let me know immediately. If you wait 10 minutes and you don't get it, and I have to go back and teach you all the stuff that I just taught everybody else, then I'm not going to react as time as good. Make sure that you get this as we go along, okay? If I'm going too fast, stop me. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to apply some styles to that particular section that you're on right now, okay? I'm assuming everybody's got this. Nobody's stopped. Now, the way we're going to go about doing that, click on that tab there that says CSS Designer.
Hold on, Mr. Smith. Hold it up. His,
Okay. Now, go ahead and click on that tab up there that says CSS Designer, please. Now, there's a few things I want to discuss before we actually create any type of style right here. And let me zoom in so you all can see what I'm talking about. And this is really important that you kind of get this before you try to apply any style. Now, you all, whenever we were just coding websites in HTML, we had you all do an internal style sheet, right? The big concept that you need to get out of this chapter, even though it says, you know, designing a mobile site using responsive design, the biggest thing you need to get out of this chapter is how you go and edit a CSS file. You have right now you have basically two sources of CSS. One's called all sources, which would encompass inline styles and an internal style sheet. You also have this one that we created called styles.css. That is your CSS file. Okay? When you want to edit or add styles to your CSS file, you need to select styles.css, like I just showed you right there. Okay? Go ahead and select styles.css. Now, next part, y'all need to pay attention to what you're doing right here. Okay? Number one, make sure you have styles.css selected. Now, whatever you want to apply styles to, you need to actually go and click in that section. We are going to add styles to that logo section where we just type in that text, the gallery and portrait family package or photography. So select that particular section right there. And then from that point, if you take a look right over here on the right-hand side, you have a little section that says media, and then you have a little section that says selectors, okay? Now, since I have clicked in that very first section right there, if I click on that plus sign next to selectors, click on that, you should see that your section logo pops up, all right? Okay, so if you click on the plus sign for selectors, this logo section pops up. Anybody not have that? Select that. This. Now, you all, from that point right there, once you've added the logo on as a selector, then you can actually go and apply styles to that particular section. Now, if you scroll down here, this is one of those things like it's a default option on this, but it really shouldn't be. Look down there where it says properties. You have a thing that says properties down there. And then you have a button that's checked off that says show set. Check off of that button quickly. Just check off of that button. Now, that's one of those little annoying things about this program. Like it cut off those things because it had check mark. But right here is where you go and you apply all of your styles to this section. Okay, it's right down here in this properties window. And let's take a look at the properties window before we start applying any styles at all. You have right here, I'm going to try to zoom in as close as I can. Because you didn't put this in a section called logo, put it in the body. Logo. Paste that. Okay, now, Austin did the right thing right there. He didn't have something exactly right. It was we were quickly able to fix it. But if you all wait, you wait 5 minutes from now, I'm not watching what you're doing, so I don't know. I can't see where you make the mistakes at. Now, you all look at this menu right here. This part right here are your layout options. This is where you can go and change the actual physical layout of that section. You can change the height, width, all of that good stuff. We're going to change padding here in a moment. If you click on that T right there, those are your text options. So where you go change the color of your text, the font family, font styles, font variants, all that good stuff. The next one right there are your border properties. This is where you can create a border, change the color of the borders, all that good stuff. And the next one that you see right here is your background properties. You can create shading, change background colors, all that good stuff goes in right there, okay? The first one that we're going to look at right here, we're going to change our layout options. I'm going to go and do this for my computer because it's really hard to click on that on my iPad. And I got to let me find the options we're going to change on here. Okay. First thing we are going to do, we're going to change our padding options. So we're on layout, and let's scroll down here to where it says padding. Now, if you look right here, there's no padding on it at all. It's 0 pixels at the top, 0 to the left, 0 to the right, 0 at the bottom. Let's set the top padding to 1 pixel. I'm going to type in the number 1. I'm just going to click off of it. We're in layout. You just got to scroll down there, okay? We're going to make the padding at the top be 1 pixel. And then let's set the padding at the bottom to be 1 pixel as well. Just click off of those. And make sure you still have logo selected up there. What? Well, look. Just look up here on the screen, okay? Look up on my screen, please. Look up on my... Everybody stop and look up on my screen. Don't edit anything. All you have to do, click on the number. Type in the number 1, and then click off of it. You could, if you wanted to change it from pixels to percent and all that stuff, you could click on the PX, but just leave it at pixels. That's all you have to do. Did anybody not get that? Now, one thing I want to point out to you before we move on to the next thing, and y'all, we're going to apply a bunch of different styles right here. The thing I want to point out to you all before we move on to the next thing, I'm going to stay zoomed in right here. Right up here, my page name, template.html, has a star next to it. That means that I have made changes that I have not saved to it, right? But also right there it says styles.css. It has a star next to it as well. That means we have made changes to the CSS file. We do need to make sure we save those before we move on. So just click on File and then hit Save All. Hit File and then Save All. Now, where was I? Let's go back down here on our styles menu down here. Make sure you still have logo selected. Let's go over here and click on the text menu. Click on the text menu. And then we're going to change the font family, okay? Right here, if you hold, you're on your text menu, font family. This has your default text. If you click on this part right here, and I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit. If you click right there, you're going to get this pull-down menu, okay? What you see on this pull-down menu are all the different default fonts that you can have in these Adobe products. And let me ask you a question. Let me answer the phone first. Okay. So anyway, you all, when you click right there where it says default font, you get this menu that pops up here, and it has all the different fonts that you can set in Dreamweaver. Okay. Now, if you look right here, why does it say Baskerville, Palatino, Linotype, Palatino, Century Schoolbook, and then Times New Roman, Serif? Why does it have those all in a row like that? Anybody know? It's not the same thing. They're not exactly related. They are all fonts. Not really. They do look similar to one another, but what this is doing is saying, all right, if I choose this first one, it's going to say first display Baskerville. Okay. If for some reason whoever is looking at your website, if they don't have the Baskerville font in their web browser, then it goes to Palatino Linotype, then Palatino, then Century Schoolbook, then Times New Roman, then Serif. Okay. There is actually, in Dreamweaver, there's not a ton of fonts that you have on there. Okay. Click on that option that says Manage Fonts. Click where it says Manage Fonts. Now, you all, when you choose Manage Fonts, you get this window that pops up right here. And what this thing is, these are called Edge Web Fonts. Okay. These are fonts that you can download from the internet and install on Dreamweaver, but they aren't default fonts that you can use. Okay. In the book, they want us to use a font called Dancing. Let's type in Dancing. Search for the one Dancing. Yeah, Dancing script is fine. Just click on that one and then click Done. Now, now, in order to go and actually apply that one, what time is it, by the way? Okay, in order to actually apply that one, once you choose any of those, it downloads it and puts it right here. You can see I've used these Edge Web fonts for a while because I have a bunch of them on there. But choose Dancing Script. And then let's go ahead and hit File and Save All. Yeah, that's all we're going to do today. We're going to pick up from there on Thursday.